Louis, it's Carton and Roberts. Congratulations on the home opener win. Not without controversy, though, but congrats on the win. Let's go over some of the details of it. What was your perspective of the Conforto at bat and how it ended?
Oh, well, and it was a great win. First of all, I mean, it's exciting to have the fans here.
Yep.
I got to share that immediately.
Sure.
It was really awesome just to hear the impressions and the fans get the way they got when McNeil hit the solo homer and then when we had the walk-off. But the walk-off itself, definitely something that, I never seen in the past. And then, probably a lot of guys that were present didn't see in the past, just getting a strike call and then turn it to a hit by pitch and the ball nipped Conforto. So,
the umpire admitted afterwards he messed up because he's calling a strike, and because it's a strike, it doesn't matter if it hits him or not. He should be out, and the game goes on. Were you aware of that in the moment? And what, if anything, did you hear between the umpires?
So the first thing, it was the strike call. So as soon as I saw the strike call, I thought, strike out. But then Conforto claimed he nipped in, and he reversed the call. He changed the call. So ultimately, the umpire has to make the correct call, so he can, you could say overrule himself. So that's what happened there. So the only replayable thing is if the ball hit or not, Michael.
Right.
And so that's why it stood. So it was the right call, and then we had the walk up. That's what forced Guillorme into home plate. So no, it's a controversial one because of the two calls you get in one there, but it's just one of those weird endings, that we're all probably going to remember.
Do you expect the Marlins, who are obviously angry at the call, but do you expect them to be pissed at Conforto? Because it does look like he leaned into the pitch, and it worked. It's a win. I'm thrilled as a Met fan. But do you expect the Marlins to do anything about it on Saturday?
Well, I mean, we should see what happens. But knowing Michael for years now, and actually throwing batting practice to Michael, sometimes I throw up in to him in practice, and he will take a pitch, and he'll move exactly just like that. So that's almost like an instinct that he has on pitches as he wants to get his hands going and maybe pull back or something. But I don't think he has the instinct of really leaning into a pitch. I don't think I've seen Michael do that in the past ever. So, that's where I come from, just by knowing Michael.
Is that, by the way, because obviously there's an off day tomorrow. You guys play Saturday afternoon. Is that something pregame you'd even talk to Mattingly about and say, hey, listen, I throw BP to Michael. He wasn't doing anything Bush League. He wasn't doing anything like that. That's what he normally does, or you just kind of let it go and hope they don't get ticked off and retaliate?
Well, if I get a chance to talk to Don, like I talked to Don, I did see his post-game interview. He said everything right. I think everyone from both sides, can say things right. Everyone in their own perspective, we want to win, as much as they want to win too. And but talking to him about that particular case, if he asks me, that's exactly what I'm going to say, because I know Michael for years, and I talked to Michael after the game, and he told me I don't know what he did. Like, I was just taking the pitch, and he nipped me.
Well, I would respectfully disagree, but it doesn't matter because it gave you the W. And, at the end of the day, it's about winning games, and it doesn't matter how you win. There's no doubt that he purposely leaned into that pitch, and he got what he wanted. But you got the W. Like, it's not your fault. You don't apologize for winning games. You won the game. And, 3 months from now, whatever the Met record is, that's, we may remember it because it's the home opener and all that stuff. In the first game at Citi Field after the, pandemic and fans there. But you won the game, and that's the bottom line. I would think there's going to be a retaliation for it, but you don't apologize for winning, that's for sure.
Yeah, and then I will disagree with you. I just don't think Michael did that on purpose on that count. I think he was getting his hands going, maybe shooting to a fastball in or something. He tried to pull back, but that's just how he reacts. But listen, Saturday comes here. We're going to show up. We're going to prepare to play, our best baseball again against the Marlins. They're a really good team. They always play really well against us. And that's it. That's the bottom line. That's what we're going to be getting ready for. If we have a chance to talk about the play at some point, we'll talk about the play. I love talking baseball. So
let's talk some baseball, and let's respectfully disagree some more. Let's go to Monday night. All right.
Sure.
Is there anything Jacob deGrom could have said to you? I understand there was a plan before the game, only 6 innings. I get it. I understand it's the first start of the year. But is there anything Jacob deGrom, the best pitcher in baseball, could have said to you to change that plan and allowed him to go out and pitch the 7th inning?
Well, first of all, there wasn't a plan for the 6 innings. The ups, downs, once again, I've explained that a couple of times, is what led into the decision. It wasn't just my decision. We were all talking as a group there, and then that's when he led to that.
So he wanted to come out of the game. Jake was like, listen, I've had these ups, downs. He's been on the base pass because he's actually a competent hitter. He was a part of it saying, look, I'm done. 77 pitches, take me out.
Yeah, he was part of it. He was part of that decision, as our pitching coach was part of that decision. So everyone just convened it, with the 10-day, layoff and all that. So it was that happened. I mean, we all watch the game. We all follow the game. I don't follow necessarily the rule of the 3 times through the lineup or anything like that. I would love my starting pitchers to go 9 innings all the time, But in the situations that we were facing with the 10-day layoff and the up and down and the conversations we were having in game, that's what led to this.
Well,
so there was nothing planned beforehand.
What is the up and downs? The fact that he was batting, the fact he was on the base paths, the fact that what is it?
So the up and downs are the warm-ups to getting into the inning, to going back into the dugout, sitting down, going back to the warm-up, to getting back into the inning stress pitches and things like that with the 10-day layoff. So that comes into consideration to where you are at some point, regardless of the pitch count. Even though Jake was out of spring training with 100-pitch buildup. So I did share that he had 100-pitch buildup coming out of spring. But when the 10-day layoff happens and the up-downs, like I just explained to you, happens as well, there's a group decision, where Jake is in the middle of it.
Listen, if Jake's taking himself out of the game, he's taking himself out of the game. I guess the ups downs thing I still don't understand because it was a normal baseball game. You know what I mean? He had his 3 at bats and he happened to have a couple of hits. There weren't that many base runners against him. That's typical in a National League game. The 10-day layoff. Listen, Luis, I get that, and if that's just the answer, fine. Especially because the game was postponed and all that. I guess I'd understand that more, but the up-downs thing, that's every game. Jake's a good hitter. Yep. He's going to get on base. So where would that be different than, what he may do on Saturday afternoon against the Marlins?
So it will be different. Now there's no 10-day layoff and with the ups and downs. So you just said it. So when you add those things and you also have the feel of the game in-game, of everyone watching it and the pitcher, it comes down to that decision. But I think when you don't have those 10 days, and you have your in-between start routine, and you have your 5 days, I think there's no problem going, to whatever build-up you have, or even more, or depending on the stress of innings. So I'm going to share this again with you. I wish my pitcher, the way Walker was pitching today, he could have gone complete game shutout, or even a no-no. I know. We don't talk about those on the way when they're.
I did.
Craig jinxed it on the radio, Luis.
After 4, I said, "Guess what? He's got 15 outs to go. Let's go." Hey, did Steve Cohen reach out to you after the game? This was an important milestone for you and for him as the Mets win their first home game under the Steve Cohen ownership. Did the owner reach out to you after the game? Did you have a chance to speak with him?
Not after the game. I did see him before the game. He came into the clubhouse and we gave him the baseball of the first win. So the catch made by Almora for the final out on the Tuesday game that Pilar kept, and then it was given to me so I could present it to the media when I did my post-game media. That was given to him in the clubhouse in front of the players, and they gave him a round of applause, and he said a few words. So I saw him before the game, and glad we have his first home game win on the first try. I think it's an awesome day. And before a day off, you always like a win even more. So it's a great day for Steve for sure.
Are we? Because look, I could sit here and complain about 5 other things, Luis, but I'm not going to. So I'll look forward. I'll look ahead. Fine. Dom Smith. Are we past Dom Smith sitting against a lefty like Saturday? I mean, he looks so good out there, and he looks better defensively. I give him a lot of credit. He actually looks like a left fielder. Are we past that? Can Dom be in the lineup every single day, man?
Yeah, he and I shared this in the past too. He will be in the lineup against lefties.
Good.
I consider Dom in the category of an everyday player. And him not being in the first lineup, giving the chance to Pilar. That's something that we talked about, just to get Pilar in the leadoff spot that day. He did not work out for us. Pilar got a single later against Alvarado that helped to score another run, but it did not work for us, as we had a plan. But Dom, like you said, he's looked really good at the plate, balance against lefties. Nemo's looked really good against lefties.
Yeah.
Too. So it's good to see our lefties battling there and doing, a lot of the things we want him to do, because they took it into the offseason to get better against lefties. Because if you look at last year's record with our lefty heavy lineup against left-handed pitchers, it was a big negative. I mean, it was a big gap between the win column and the loss column against left-hander statters. So, it's something that we're looking to correct, especially having like a platoon type of team with Pilar and J.D. Guillorme and things like that. So, but it's good to see the lefties taking good swings and taking good at-bats against lefties. That could show you that we can have that one lineup, and the guys can manufacture a lot of runs.
And Brandon Nimmo today made a great defensive play. He fought that ball off and collided with the wall, but he's been everything you wanted him to be. He's made the defensive plays, and, of course, his bat's red hot right now. So I would think that you're thrilled right now out of Brandon Nimmo.
Yes. I'm so excited for him. And he's stealing bases. He stole one of Real Muto the other day. I don't know if you guys noticed in detail. He's diving head first. That's something that he didn't do before this season. And credit to him. He went on his own to field 2 in San Lucie, which is the turf field, just to dive after dive.
That's funny.
To create some muscle memory. He's probably a couple of scratches, but he's paying off. He's feeling more comfortable diving out there.
He's been great a weekend.
Look, I think the other guy that looks good to do some positives here is Pete Alonso at first base. I mean, he really, and I know you said that to us last week, and I'm like, all right, let's see Pete Alonso look significantly better at first base. He's looked great the first week of the year defensively.
Yes, we're pumped about that. He's pumped about that. He worked really hard to get to this position. He's worked so hard in the past to get to a position, and last year it was kind of like a down year for him. You could say, but it was such an atypical year too. Like, everybody was just playing catch up whenever they had a bad start. So, it's nice to see Pete nice and relaxed there, and putting into play everything that he worked on in the offseason.
What's the status of J.D. Davis? Obviously, took the pitch off his hand a few nights ago, hasn't played. He's not on the injured list as of yet, unless you're going to break us news. What's the deal with J.D. moving forward?
Yeah, he was taking swings with his top hand today. He didn't do much with his bottom hand, which is where he got hit. And, tomorrow, day off, he's coming for treatment. We'll see where he is for Saturday's game. We're facing a lefty, by the way.
Yes.
So we'll see where he is, see if we can include him in there.
How did the COVID stuff go for you guys? I know it was very public that, the day off tomorrow that, Med players were going to get the chance to be vaccinated. Overall, I respect each player's personal privacy in that regard, but as a team, positive day, successful day in that regard?
Yeah, I think so. I was just there. I got my tag right now. That's why I'm calling a little later. I apologize for that, but I went to it. We were in the line, and majority of the guys were there. Also coaches, performance staff. So yeah, everything went well.
All right, well, listen, we appreciate the time as always. Congratulations on the home opening win. No matter how it happened, a win's a win. Enjoy the off day and Saturday afternoon against these Marlins again. We'll be watching and look forward to talking to you again next week. Appreciate the time.
105 pitches from Jake on Saturday, right, Luis? Thank you.
I hear you. Okay.
Listen, if he throws 101, Evan's going to bitch you didn't throw 102.
Listen, man.
So you know that going in. Just know that. Every week you come on with us.
Every week there'll be a Jacob deGrom pitching question.
Listen, I'm telling you right now. I know we're a new show, so you're new with us, or we're new with you. I'm just setting it up. No matter what deGrom does.
Not if he goes 9.
He's going to want one more.
Not if he goes 9. When he pitches 9, we're going to have the greatest interviews. I'm going to throw bouquets at you. Yeah, you let him go 9,
anyway.
Louie. Great job.
Congratulations. We'll talk to you next week. Have a good weekend. Thanks, Lou.
All right, guys. All right, you're the best.
All right, Luis Rojas, the manager of the New York Mets.
No, he said something
There
that
you
you should be dancing about.
What is that?
Jake took himself out of that game. Jake
Yeah.
took himself out of that game.
Well, so
And you
now that
tried
he
to
did that,
push
now
that.
you have to
I have to what?
apologize.